Here we can see two primitive males of a dying species known as the petrolhead. Ooh, what is this? It seems they've spotted a little compact hot hatchback, the Polo GTI. It seems they can't quite figure it out if they like it or not. In a world where Chinese crossovers and small SUVs dominate global markets, and a certain manufacturer competing with tech giant Apple for the amount of Pro Max models it can release, you have to ask yourself, where does a small compact hot hatch like the Polo GTI fit for a consumer?
Hello, welcome back to Pedal Talk. I'm Sen.
And I'm William.
And today we are reviewing the VW Polo GTI.
It's a 2023. In the front of the Polo GTI, we can see this lovely red light bar, which is illuminated under. It also runs through these beautiful IQ lights. Tell us more about them, sir.
So these are dynamic IQ lights. They light up the road when it's dark, and they dim themselves when there are oncoming vehicles or deer in the road.
What have you done with your cap?
I'm young, William. I drive a Polo GTI. I'm hip and I'm cool.
Okay, so I guess then...
Did you know, William, the back as well also has IQ lights?
No, I did not.
Now, crucially, the fogs. Do they look familiar to you?
Oh, VW naughty naughty. These are checkered flag fog lights stolen from Renault Sport. Why did you steal them?
Why? The Polo GTI comes in these fantastic 18-inch rims and sits 15 millimeters lower than the normal Polo.
And in addition, we've got some GTI specific brakes here with red brake calipers. And we've also got a dynamic chassis control or adaptive chassis control, ACC or DCC. You can come at me in the comments. I don't know what it is.
XYZ.
Means the same thing. So, in as much as these rims are beautiful, as well as the brakes being very beautiful, they are a lot smaller than its competitors. I must mention my own personal car. I've got 4-pot Brembos.
We now come to the back of the Polo Life. Oh, wait.
No, Sen, it says GTI because it ensures that you should know the difference.
How do I tell the difference?
Going to get upset.
How do I tell the difference?
Well, you can tell the difference through... Well, you've got two exhaust pipes
yeah,
to make, I don't know, we'll figure out. I've heard it doesn't sound that good.
some color here, actually.
Yes, color-coded paint. We've got a GTI badge here. Other than that, oh, and a spoiler.
This meaty spoiler.
Lights are still the same as a normal TSI.
The angle is still the same as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad-looking back end, but it could be a little bit more sporty.
Subtle is the word I think that GTI had, VW had in mind when creating this vehicle. Just like any other VW, it does have a few issues. So because it's a VW, the water pump and the thermostat housing do give up. The wastegate on the turbo, the actuator specifically, also can be problematic. If you are buying one pre-owned, it makes stew instead because the turbo doesn't work properly. Now, if you're buying one, just make sure you have 20 to 25,000 Rand aside for both those issues. The PCV also can tear on the diaphragm. And how you'll know this is by a whistling sound when you drive your car. It's not your intake or your turbo. It's an actual problem, as well as high oil consumption.
What about white smoke?
And white smoke as well.
The VW Polo GTI came off the Kariga plant in South Africa. Now, is that a feather in South Africa's cap? Or is that a scare for reliability? Make of it what you will.
You now join us in the inside of the Polo GTI. This specific model has been fully spec'd. What are some of the optional extras that this car has, William?
We have beats, so I can make a beat. We've got a digital dash, so that you can see your revs and your speed. We've got sat-nav. We've got Apple CarPlay. We've got a G meter here and a boost pressure meter, which is very cool, very hip.
We've got a panoramic sunroof. Kind of like a peacock having feathers to attract the ladies. Whoosh. We've also got park assist, lane assist,
Adaptive chassis control.
adaptive chassis control, which
That we
stiffens up
mentioned,
the
yes.
suspension when you're driving,
Or softens it.
and then the traction button, and
We've also got adaptive cruise control. How that works is, if you are on the highway and the car senses that someone in front of you is beginning to brake, it'll brake for you. It's basically like self-driving.
the Polo GTI is powered by EA 888 engine, a 2-liter turbocharged engine. It goes as far back as the Golf 6 GTI and is even in the Golf 8R.
Is it that old, Sin?
It's that old. VW have just refined it over the years.
Didn't you graduate when the Golf 6 GTI came out?
Don't remind me of my age, will you?
He's very old. But like you said, the EA 888 engine is found in the Golf R and the GTI. However, in this format, it's very detuned. We've got 140 underleaf, we've got 147 kilowatts and 320 newton meters. Now, is that enough for this car? Well, we'll find out soon.
In terms of the ergonomics of the car, the indicator button or the hazards are actually quite fast, so you do have to bend a bit. Not really convenient. The perforated steering wheel, however, feels fantastic in your hand. In terms of the suspension of the vehicle, you have a torsion bar at the rear. What I did notice a bit earlier was that the back does hop and skip quite a little bit when you put the power down. The front does have revised bits on it, so the anti-roll bars are a bit stiffer, and the steering knuckles are revised.
So, like I said, the engine has 320 newton meters of torque, which comes on power quite early. However, higher up in the rev range, it starts to die down a little bit. So ideally, you need to shift around 5,000 RPM. However, it comes in at around 2.5.
The gears aren't too longly ratioed, and you can stay on the power at command, which is always a joyous thing.
The one thing that's really missing from this car is the lack of noise. It is pretty quiet and there's a bit of pumped in noise through our excellent Beats sound system here. And it's very predictable. You're able to feel what the car is going to do. You're able to understand the car, which makes for a very rewarding drive, but not as fun as other hot hatches in this category.
In terms of the overall feel of the car, you do not get that much sensation that comes through the steering wheel, so it does feel quite numb. However, the chassis does communicate with you, and you can tell exactly what each wheel is doing at any given point in time.
So, like I mentioned previously, the torque comes in quite early, which means it's got a very strong mid-range, which would make overtaking on... Sorry, I'm enjoying it. Which makes overtaking on roads pretty easy. It's a very nippy engine. I wouldn't say it's lightning fast, but it's relatively quick.
Steering turn-in is a lot more direct and a lot sharper. You have to put a lot less input to get the car to rotate. Really easy car to drive fast, actually. That paired with the 6-speed DSG box is a recipe for excitement, in my opinion.
Now, Volkswagen equipped this car with the XDS differential. How it works is it's not mechanical, but what it will do is it will brake the inside wheel in order to keep you traction through a corner. We'll try to demonstrate around here. So on the exit, it will use your braking system to ensure that you exit the corner correctly. So there's something that's been on my mind for a little bit now, which is this breed of car. It's
Hot hatches.
hot, small, nimble hot hatches. The competition has gone. If you can name a brand new car on sale right now that competes with this.
The only one that comes to mind is the Mini Cooper S. Nothing else. And even that is...
And price-wise, the Mini Cooper S does not sit in the same category.
Absolutely
as
not.
It's,
That's
those are
700, 800.
around 700 full spec. So you got cars like the i20N, which we didn't get in South Africa. The newer Fiesta ST, we didn't get in South Africa. And Renault decided that the Clio was not worth their time anymore.
So there's no competition for it anymore. So it's sort of in a class of its own.
By default, it wins.
It does. By default, it really does win.
At 590,000 Rand and upwards, William,
Yes.
I think considering what's on the market today, this is probably the most exciting thing that you could buy for that
Yes.
amount of money. What do you think?
I agree with you. And I think that, especially since your other options are something with a Pro Max at the end of it, I do think this is way better. And I'd rather own this and I'd rather drive this every day.
Absolutely. So if you're a car enthusiast and you have 600,000 to spend, get a Polo GTI.
Well, it's a good car. It's not a great car. It could be better.
They should still get a Polo GTI.
I think they should consider it.
I think they should get it. Save the hot hatches.
Save the hot hatches.
William and Sen
Always.
from Pedal Talk, out.
Cheers.